Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome. If it's the first time of meeting this channel, I want you to like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified when we post many more videos. So today I'm going to give you a tool that's going to help you to confirm your entry. Okay, just simple setup that you need to do to help you confirm your entry. If you're the type that has been doing your analysis, and even after doing your analysis you still have some doubts that, oh, should I go into the trade now or not? So I'm going to give you this simple indicator that you can use to confirm your entry after doing your analysis. Okay, now remember, you're not going to work with this indicator alone. You are going to pair it with price action analysis. Very, very important, guys, and that's the first thing we are going to be talking about. Okay, so the first thing to do whenever you open your chart and you want to analyze and see if there are possible entries to take is to, first of all, determine the trend. Okay, determine the trend. What's the trend? Is it bullish? Is it a bearish trend? So you first of all determine the trend. Okay, so after determining the trend and you identify that the price has reached a resistance zone or a support zone, so you mark out your support zones. Okay, like here we have a resistance zone over here. Okay, so you mark out your support zones and your resistance zones. Okay, so let's say you came on to the chart and you want to trade and you probably met price at this stage. Okay, let's say you met price at that stage and you don't know if you should go into the trade or not. So the first thing to do is to check, is that point a resistance zone or is it a support zone? So is a bullish trend initially, so it's a bullish trend initially, so definitely it's going to be what, a resistance zone. So you first of all identify that price reached a resistance zone, and after identifying that price has reached a resistance zone like we have over here, you have to look at another thing. Look at presence of what, candlestick patterns that can cause reversal. Okay, in my previous video I talked about reversals and how to spot reversal. So if you have not watched that video, you can go over and watch it on my channel. So after identifying the resistance zone, so we identify a resistance zone over here. So what do? We check the resistance zone. We check it to see if there is any pattern that is being formed there. So we have different factors that you can check at a resistance zone or a support zone to see if price is going to reverse, right? So you either check for chart patterns, okay, or you check for candlestick patterns. Okay, like we have over here, we have presence of candlestick patterns and also presence of what, a chart pattern. So why do I say we have a chart pattern there? Now looking at that zone, the chart pattern we have there is the double top chart pattern. That pattern that gives you the M shape. So double top chart pattern signals what, reversal. Now that isn't enough for you to conclude that you want to go into a trade. So the next thing to do is, after identifying the chart pattern, which is the double top, look at the tops. Look at the both tops. Do you see the presence of a reversal candlestick? Yeah. Okay, so when you look closely at the tops, we have one. The first top here, we have the hanging man. That is a symbol. That is a sign that price is probably gonna reverse. So we have the hanging man at the first top, and when you look at the second top also, we also have the hanging man, and we also have the spinning top. Can you see that? We also have the spinning top. So having had this confirmation from your analysis, that is the price action aspect of the analysis. Now, having seen this, having confirmed these things, you've checked for your resistance zone, you've checked for presence of chart pattern, and you checked for reversal candlesticks, and you are still unsure, you're not confident if you should go into the trade. So what you should do is use this simple tool. This simple setup I'm going to give to you is what you should do to confirm your entry. So when you look at the indicator window, you can see that the indicators form exactly the same shape as the price. Can you see that? Can you see that? This is a perfect alignment. Can you see that? So that is a perfect alignment to tell you that the indicator is in line with what is currently happening with price in the market. So when you look at the chart, you can see the price that the indicator aligns perfectly with the price on the chart. You can see that it has reached the overbought level at the stage. Can you see that? It has reached the overbought level at the stage, and price has hit a resistance zone also at this stage. Okay, so that is a confirmation that price is likely going to change. So when you look at your indicator window, you have to ensure that it perfectly aligns with the price on the chart. Now, so how do you use this indicator? Okay, you wait for price to either reach the overbought level, okay, which is the 90 level. It reaches the overbought level if eventually you want to take a sell trade. You wait for price to reach the overbought level. Okay, when you reach the overbought level, don't just take the trade. You have to wait and see that the indicator has started curving downward. Okay, it will start curving downward to reach the 80 level. So once it gets to the 80 level, you are sure that this trend has actually changed from being bullish to bearish, and then you can open your trade and make some profit. Okay, so now there are something you have to look out for before confirming that you can actually take this trade. Now, one thing you should look out for is you have to move your indicator window. You have to move your charts. When you move it, if the indicator does not leave that overbought level, okay, it doesn't leave that 90 level, you know that that is a sure confirmation. You see, when I move my chart, it stays there, it doesn't leave. Okay, but if you move your chart and it leaves, do not take that trade. Let me show you an example, an instance of what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's take an example here. Like, look over here. Okay, look over here. You can see that the indicator seems, okay, it seems to be at the oversold level. That's the level 10. It seems to be at the oversold level. Okay, and you might want to say, oh, okay, let me that's a sure confirmation. No, you have to move your chart. Now, if I move those charts here, you will see that the indicator is going to leave. Can you see that? It left the oversold level. That's to tell you that that is not a sure confirmation for you to take the trade. So you only take the trade when your indicator is staying fixed at either the overbought level or the oversold level whenever you move your charts. Okay, whenever you move your screen. So this indicator works perfectly well for all assets you want to trade. So let's go over to, you can use it for your currency pairs like we have over here, and you can use it for your synthetic indices, be it boom and crash, be it volatility indices. So let's head over to volatility indices to test the effectiveness of this indicator. Okay, here you can see we are in volatility indices. Okay, and you can see that the indicator perfectly aligns with what is going on your price. Can you see that? Can you see that now? Now look at here. We currently have price at the overbought level, and you can see this has hit the resistance zone over here. So it has hit a resistance zone and there has been a reversal. So this is a clear signal for you to take the trade. Okay, so this is a clear signal for you to take a trade. So now let's look at another. Let's scroll further. Now when you look here, when I move my screen, it doesn't move. Can you see that? And look here at the point at which price changed from being bearish to bullish. Can you see that the indicator does not move? It stays fixed. So this is how to confirm with your indicator. Now let's head over to boom and crash. Okay, so here we are in boom and crash. Can you see that? I know a lot of people have challenges trading boom and crash because they don't really see the chart like it's similar to every other asset. But boom and crash is actually similar to every other asset. Can you see that? There's no difference between this chart and your currency pair chart, and there's no difference between it and your volatility indices chart. Okay, it's just for you to view it on a higher time frame instead of viewing it on the 1 minute time frame. You understand? So this is the 1 hour time frame, and you can see this is boom 500, and the indicator perfectly aligns with the chart. Can you see that? It perfectly aligns with the chart. Now look at the point at which price changed from a bearish trend to a bullish trend. Can you see that the indicator also was at a support level and it is fixed? Can you see when I move my screen, it doesn't leave, it is fixed. Can you see that? It doesn't leave. So this is how to confirm with your indicator. Let me not make these videos too long. I want to give you the the complete setup of this indicator. So okay, so this is something that you can set up and you will use it for all confirmation. Even if you're trading cryptocurrency, you can use this indicator on your chart. So let me go over to the indicator settings so I can give you the indicator. So let's go over to the indicator setting. So here on our indicator window, we have just 3 indicators, and the first one is the RSI, the relative strength index. Can you see that? So the relative strength index is period 5. Can you see that? And it should be applied towards typical price. Okay, take notes. Apply towards typical price. And we have 4 levels on our RSI, and that's level 20, and that's level 20, level 80, level 10, and level 90. You can take a screenshot of it so you don't forget, or you can probably write it down. So that is your RSI. And for the style, okay, for the style over here, it doesn't have to have a color. Your color should be your background color. You don't have to have a visible color. So the color should be your background color. Okay, my background color is white, and that's why I chose white. So if your background color is black or any other color, you can choose the same color so it doesn't show. Only the levels are needed to show. So that's why we have on the level, we have the color to be what? To be black. Okay, don't forget. So this is the setup for the RSI. Now let's head over to the second indicator, which is the moving average. Okay, so we have the moving average period 10. Okay, you can see that we have period 10, shift 0, method is simple and apply to close. Okay, and there are no levels. And the style, you choose your color that you want. I chose blue for mine, so you can set up any color that you want. Then we head over to the third indicator, which is the moving average again. So this time around, the moving average is period 20. So we have moving average period 20, shift is 0, and method is simple, apply to close, and there are no levels. Then you can change your style color. So the styles should have different colors, so you'll be able to identify both moving averages. So you click on save. So this is the setup of the indicator. So once you go now to your chart and backtest it, ensure you backtest it very well. Make sure to take note of your indicator not leaving, okay, either the overbought level or the oversold level. Your indicator shouldn't leave when you move your screen like this, okay, and that is a sure confirmation for your entry. So if you find value from those videos, I want you to hit the subscribe button, like those videos, share to your friends, and turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified when we bring many more amazing videos. If there is any aspect you want me to touch, okay, if there is any aspect you want me to touch, you want me to teach, okay, just comment it on the comment section and I will look into it. Till I come your way again, trade smart and be profitable. Bye.